Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Alan here at Lfcredchat, as always, coming at you through the power of YouTube on the interweb. Just sat down and watched Brendan's post-match interview. So this is the one that he did with the press, not the one for the, I don't know who it was, Sky Sports, BT Sports or whatever else, whoever was covering the game back home in the UK. But yeah, basically these things are post-match, pre-match. Again, using that LFC TV Gold subscription that I was so lucky to be able to get over Christmas time. I'm going to go through the post-match comments, and I've written them down, journal style, notes about everything that he was saying. Basically, I'm going to relay that onto you guys without breaking any copyright rule with posting the video of the post-match up there. I'm thinking about using the sound, and then maybe talking about me, stopping it and talking it. But I don't know, the one dreadful thing about LFC TV Go is how anal the fucking video can be about stopping and going and scrolling back and scrolling forward and stuff like that. It just wants to pack in after 2 seconds. But I don't know if that would break any copyright rule with me using the voice and talking about it. So for now, I'm going to take my notes. I'm going to practice note taking and all the rest of it, and basically relay it over to you. So make sure you follow me at Lfcredchat on Twitter. Also I'm on Facebook as well, Lfcredchat. I finally linked it up with my Twitter and my Facebook, so all my tweets go onto my Facebook as well. You may think, well, what's the point in that? Well, if you like Facebook better than Twitter, if you're only on Facebook, well, you can follow me on Facebook, and I'm actually updating it all the time. Big thing that I just wasn't able to control both profiles at the same time. So they're all linked up now, so you'll get the full effect of Lfcredchat on your phone. But anyway, let's dive into this. So Brendan Rodgers, as always, Brendan Rodgers, you could probably guess what word to use first as talking about a performance from Liverpool. Outstanding. He said it was an outstanding performance from Liverpool. I tend to disagree. I thought it was bang average. Without that early goal, it would have been another 0-0, another 2 points dropped. But he said it was outstanding. Clear penalty for Markovic, of course, we're in agreement with that. Sending off threw Liverpool off more than it did Sunderland. And to be fair, looking back in the game, yeah, it did send throw Liverpool off a little bit more. He had to regroup. Sunderland kind of just kept on pressing on. It's actually when Sunderland got that chance from what's his name, Adam Johnson, was just after the sending off, I believe. That came about. But he went on to say that we were defensively sound. Looking back, fair enough. He said from the Johnson chance where you went all scrambled eggs. Yeah, it was pretty sound. It was pretty sound at the back. Nothing. It's more that Sunderland didn't really test you more than anything else really going on back there. Defence, outstanding defensive displays. Emre Can played his part well as always, but we'll get out with that. Went on to say Steven Gerrard came off as a precaution, like I said in the post match video. It was his hamstring a little bit tight, so we'll go for an MRI and all the rest of that. He was then asked about Raheem Sterling not being there, being in Jamaica for the past 2 games. I think he's had a week or so holiday over there. Apparently, the time off was arranged during the summer, so must have been after he got back from the World Cup or so, that he was going to miss this part of the schedule, the FA Cup and this game against Sunderland. He was going to be able to relax. Brendan Rodgers went on to say, like many of us have been saying, he's played over 100 games already, he's only 20 years old, and basically he's managing his youth well, which Brendan Rodgers has been doing pretty well before then. When Sterling was first introduced in the team, he was introduced in spurts, and that kind of worked for him and didn't allow him to burn out as much. So he should come back, like Rodgers says, well rested, fresh, fit for the second half. He's thinking about the long-term future of the player instead of the short-term, which is very wise. Went on to talk about Jordan Henderson. They are in Sunderland. Jordan came from Sunderland, his boyhood team. Grown up as a young man, he said, he displays leadership and he's developing very well, Brendan went on to say. Played great, outstanding, a great technician. All the Brendanisms you could possibly throw at Jordan Henderson, he did. But he was asked He was asked, is that a look into the future? Jordan Henderson being the captain after half time, of course. Is that a look into the future? He went on and talked about it, and he said, is he going to be the captain next year? And Brendan Rodgers was very coy about it. He actually said, you know what, we'll find out in the summer. So, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't think Jordan Henderson is going to be the captain of the club next year. But maybe he's going to be a vice captain to someone else again. Who knows? But that's kind of reading in between the lines there. Talked about Markovic a little bit. He does his normal Brendanism. He'll be asked about one player and involved in more players. You know, the team, the squad, the unit, the group. He likes to say. But he talked about Markovic and Emre Can and Alberto Moreno taking time to settle in. But he did single out Markovic for being able to press very well. And you know, Brendan loves a good player who can press the ball very well. But yeah, he needed time to settle. That's basically how he answered that part. He was asked by a reporter, do you think you've turned the corner? You got the momentum going into the second half of the season? And you know, he said his normal thing. You know, since I've been here, we've always been better in the second half of the season than we have the first. You know, the same stuff we've been hearing for a while. But he talked about how difficult the first half of the season was, losing a player like Sturridge and losing other players like that. So I've noticed this in a couple of other interviews. I've been doing maybe 5 or 6 now where I've been watching it, but he will not mention the name Suarez in any of it. I don't know if it's a psychological thing. He doesn't want to bring him up. You know, we know we've lost him. He's moving on, but he won't say the name Suarez in his comments. He'll always say when we lost other things. You know, we lost world class player, but he'll never say Suarez. Interesting. Don't know if I'm just reading in between lines. I'm just spitballing with you guys. But yeah, he went on to say, you know, we're getting back to the way we were last season and stuff like that. And he says, you know, it's going to be great having Sturridge back in the team, Sterling back in the team, Lallana, and Glenn Johnson back in the team. Fucking hell, he loves a bit of Glenn Johnson, doesn't he? He loves a bit of JG on his team sheet. But apart from that, guys, that was it. That is all he had. It actually took him 5 minutes to say all that stuff. It took me 7.5 to say it. So we dragged on a little bit, but I did have to introduce myself, so I'll take 1.5 minutes for that. Have a good one, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel either up here or down here. Lfcredchat on Twitter, at Lfcredchat. Facebook as well, Lfcredchat. And make sure that you comment down below. Comments video will be going up tomorrow. I know this video was a little bit late, but at least you get to see it. It's something that you don't normally get to see. You'll read about it and they'll select quotes about that, but I went through each question you got asked. I mentioned it. I told you what you said. You know, it wasn't me twisting it around to fit my narrative on the situation. I wrote it down. I told you what you said. So have a good one, guys. I'll see you soon. As always, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.